Good morning Year 5 and welcome to day 4 of week 12 with our place value focus. So I've got your answers for yesterday. Now because it's across 3 pages, in a minute if you keep the video rolling I'll do a screenshot of each of the sheets so you can pause and check your answers. Okay, I am about to introduce your fluency task. So here are your 5 fluency questions for today. Pause the video, give yourselves 5 minutes, see how you get on. And here are today's answers. Okay, so we've got a little bit of fractions here, we've got a multiplication, another missing number one there. Just a reminder here, it's using what you know. 5 times 3 is 15, 50 times 3 would be 150, 50 times 30 is 1,500. And a reminder that when you divide by 10, you just move the digits one place to the left. Okay, today's focus is Roman numerals. Now, we haven't actually covered Roman numerals yet in Year 5, but you did have a look at it when you were in Year 4. So I thought it might be worth us doing a little recap, and then I will set your task for today. So, Roman numerals, why do we need to know them? Well, they do appear in quite a lot of different places. I've got a couple of pictures here to show you some ideas. So you might see them if you were in a museum, you might see them in some Roman artifacts, but you may also see them on a clock. Quite a lot of clocks, analog clocks, have Roman numerals. You may also see them in sport. The Super Bowl, particularly, and WrestleMania, both have their numbers in Roman numerals. Or you could have a game. Some games, or films actually, have their numbers written in Roman numerals as well. So Roman numerals can seem a bit tricky. The only numbers you actually need to know are these ones. Okay, so I is for 1, which is fairly straightforward. 5 is V. X is 10, so I always think about that as 2 V's, one the right way up and one upside down underneath. L is 50. A century is 100 years, so C is 100. D is 500, and M is 1,000. A millennium, 1,000. Okay, so hopefully that gives you a little bit of a help to remember what's what. Now, the rule is, if a symbol appears after a larger symbol, so if you have the symbol for 5 followed by the symbol for 1, then you add it on. So VI is V add I, which is 5 add 1, which is 6. Okay. When a symbol appears before a larger symbol, it's taken away. So if we had I, then X, the smallest one has come first, so it means it's I away from X, or I subtracted from X. In this case, 1 subtracted from 10. Okay, this is an interesting one. They didn't tend to use the same symbol more than 3 times in a row, except in a clock. Now, for some reason, and maybe you could do a bit of research and find out, when we have a Roman numeral with a clock face, we tend to have 4 written as I instead of IV. Maybe there's a reason. You could find out and let me know. Okay, so a little bit of practice then. I'm just going to fold that over so we don't need that anymore. Okay, so, well, first of all, actually, we could work out what these numbers are, couldn't we? Let's have a look at those. So we obviously know that this is going to be 1 to 12 along the clock face. Civilization VI. Well, V is 5 and I is 1. So 5 add 1 is 6. This is the screen grab from Civilization 6. This Super Bowl, XLVIII. Well, let's copy it down. I will bring that back in a minute. XLVIII. Well, X is 10. Do it in a different colour. X is 10. L is 50. V is 5. And these are all ones. Okay. So X is smaller than L. So that must mean X away from 50 or L. So 10 less than 50. So that bit must be 40 because the 10 came before the 50. And then this bit, the smaller ones come after. So that is 8. So that must be the symbol for Super Bowl 48. And then WrestleMania, we have X, X, I, V. So we've got 10, 10, 1 and 5. So this is the same, so we'll take those together. That's 20 because they're together. So if they're the same, you add them up. And then the 1 comes before the 5, so it needs to be taken away from the 5. So IV gives you 4, so that was WrestleMania 24. And then the last one, this one is MCMIX. And if you watch the TV, sometimes at the very, very end, after all the credits, it shows the year it was made in Roman numerals. I think that still happens. So M is 1000, because a millennium is 1,000 years. C for century is 100. There's another M, there's a 1, and there's a 10. So this one will come on its own, M, so that's 1000 as it is. CM, well, that's 100 less than 1,000, so that must be 900. And then 1 less than 10 is 9, so that must be 1,909. Okay, I'm going to show you your task and then I'll be back tomorrow with the answers.